Hi and Assalamualaikum everyone. So in this video, let's look at the correlation coefficient and Pearson product moment correlation, a tool that tells us how two variables are related. So what is correlation coefficient? So correlation coefficient is a statistical index of the degree to which two variables are associated or related. So in other words, the correlation coefficient measures how strongly two variables move together. So the value of correlation coefficient ranges from -1 to 1. So we can use this Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient to measure the strength of relationship between two variables. So the values of correlation coefficient, it range between -1 and 1. So how to interpret this value? The closer the value to +1, it means that the stronger the positive relationship. If it is closer to -1, it means that it is getting strong negative relationship. What about if we have r equals to 0? So this means that there is no relationship between the two variables. So basically, Pearson product moment correlation coefficient, it helps us in understanding how changes in one variable are associated with changes in another. So this is the formula to calculate or to compute the Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient. So the R is actually the notation for the Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. So this is the formula, Sxy divided by the square root of Sxx multiplied by Syy, or similarly, we can obtain by using this expression. It's just the same actually. Because the Sxy is actually the summation of xy multiplied by summation of x multiplied by summation of y and divided by n, the number of observations. So x and y here, this is the individual data points of the two variables for independent, x for independent, y for dependent. So this means that you have to find the summation of the symbol summation here. So what else? We can obtain the value of Pearson product moment correlation coefficient by using simply by using calculator straight away, and by using another statistical software such as SPSS, or we can use the Excel, or you can manually calculate, provide the working and the calculation. Now, once you have the value of Pearson's product moment correlation coefficient, you need to know how to interpret the result. So here, the following drawing here, it summarizes the strength and direction of the correlation coefficient. So we can see that the value range from -1, here should be +1. So if the correlation coefficient or R is close to 1, we can say that that is positively correlated. But you need to see whether you classify where is the value. Let's say the value is about 0.5 or 0.6, so we can say that's moderate positive. What about is negative 0.5? So if negative 0.5, because of the sign negative, so we can say moderate negative correlation. But if it's appear to close to like 0.8, 0.9, positive 0.8, 0.9, so we can say that there is strong positive correlation. But otherwise, if it's negative like 0.8, negative 0.9, so we can say it as strong negative correlation. And if R is close to 0, we might say there is little correlation, or we might say there's no correlation between the two variables. Now that we have understand on how to calculate the correlation coefficient, we knew that the value ranges between -1 to 1. So now let's go into how to interpret the value in more details explanation. For example, if we have the R, the correlation coefficient is greater than 0.7. For example, we have 0.9. So we can say that there is strong positive relationship. For example, we have the correlation coefficient for the between two variables, study hours and exam scores. Study hours and exam scores. So we know that this indicates that the more study hours, the increase in study hours are strongly associated with higher exam scores. And what about if we have between 0.5 and 0.69? So this shows that a moderate relationship. It depends on the sign. If we have positive, therefore we can say it as moderate positive relationship. Yeah, what about if we have a negative sign? So we can say that it's negative, moderate negative relationship. So when the value of correlation is about between 0.1 or 0.2 and 0.4, so we can say it as weak relationship between two variables. So in summary, this correlation coefficient actually tells us the direction and strength of the relationship. So the positive sign is actually explain or indicates that the variables move together. I mean, move together means the one variable increase, another variable also increase. But if negative a value of R, it means that they move in opposite direction. For example, the sleep quality and the stress level. Okay, if the stress level increase, the sleep quality will decrease. So this is what I meant. So values that of R that is close to 0, it indicate weak, or sometimes we can see it as no linear relationship. But remember, correlation does not imply causation, and it doesn't capture non-linear relationship. Alright, so that's all in this video. Thank you so much for watching.